at the numbers for the starting goalies presented by Honda. And a lot of the hopes for the Detroit Red Wings continuing their playoff streak rest on the shoulders of Jimmy Howard. There you see his numbers. He has not been as good as he's been earlier in his career so far this season. He must find that top form down the stretch. Corey Crawford, as you take a look at his numbers, has won just 3 of his last 7 starts. He's had a terrific career record, though, against Detroit. 11-2-3 and a 1.94 goals against. Much better than what Jimmy Howard has done head-to-head in this rivalry. Mike Babcock told us before the game, you must believe you can win with the lineup you have, even though he knows that he's got a depleted lineup without a lot of the regulars. And Joel Quenneville put his team through a pretty rigorous workout yesterday. Wants his team, as Brent Seabrook just said to Brian Engblom, to get back to doing some of the little things that you need to do to have success. Dave Strader up in the booth, and Brian Engblom is our man inside the glass. Brian, it still has a feel to the rivalry, doesn't it, even though they're in opposite conferences?
Oh, you got to feel it down here. I think it's added to it because they only play each other twice now, and they're not in the same conference. This atmosphere is electric.
They met back on January the 22nd at the Joe Louis Arena, a game that Detroit won in a shootout 5-4 as the puck went into the Hawk zone and now sent back the other way. Howard started to come out to play it, but he sees that he's got Jonathan Ericsson there, poked away by Taves. Now Versteeg angles it off the board, though. Duya tees went up, changes direction, and Howard came out and punched it out of there with his left pad as Johan Franzen sends it out to center ice.
I expect this to be a real gritty game by both teams. Detroit has to play that way. They don't score very well. And Chicago has gotten away from the grit. Joel Quenneville said their last game that they lost only 3-2 on the scoreboard was their worst game of the year. He wants a lot more grit, a lot more change. Too much perimeter play by the Chicago Blackhawks. He was snarly at practice yesterday. He had them doing a lot of battle drills, not for a long time. They only practiced about 35-40 minutes tops. A lot of one-on-one, a lot of two-on-two. Look for this Chicago team to be a little nasty here tonight.
Lost 3-2 here against Nashville, a team that likely is not going to make the playoffs, and they lost 3-2 in Denver against the team that Chicago is likely going to meet in the first round. The question is, which team is going to have home ice advantage? A lead pass. Kruger in and fired it up too high. Now the Hawks working hard to try to get it back to the front of the Detroit net, but it's taken away by Justin Abdelkader. He'll play it off the boards on the far side. It was behind Thomas Tatar. Two of them out here on a line with Riley Sheehan, number 15, who Mike Babcock talked in glowing terms about a couple of hours before game time.
Yeah, it was Riley Sheehan, though, that just missed his check. It was Kruger that he was supposed to be with, and he wasn't ready to turn and go with him. That's why Kruger got that chance. Watch at the Detroit blue line. The quick up by Chicago, one of the best in the business at it. Look at Sheehan's on the wrong side. You always have to stay on the defensive side of your guy. That we're playing man-on-man. The defense for the Detroit Red Wings were split really wide because I saw Sheehan had his man. Well, then he didn't for a minute. Marcus Kruger got a great chance and wasted it.
Riley Sheehan had the only goal in the regulation and overtime portion of the 2-1 shootout win that Detroit had against Edmonton the other night. Now is Bickle back the other way. And we showed you, if you were watching in the pregame, the long list of regulars that are out of the lineup for Mike Babcock and the Detroit Red Wings. As Kane now kicks it to the backhand, behind the net. Looks out to the front, hands it off. Leddy with a shot, change direction, and goes just wide of Howard. Michael Roosevelt playing on this third defensive pairing for Joel Quenneville along with Nick Leddy. As Drew Miller now tries to send it ahead. It was blocked, and that threw the play offside at the Chicago line. Again, so many players out of the lineup. The significant ones, Datsuk, Zetterberg, Cleary, Helm, Samuelson, Bertuzzi, Weiss. There are some others like Anderson, Joachim Anderson. Mike Babcock was saying if you count him and Weiss and then Helm, Datsuk, Zetterberg, we're really without our top 5 centers on our depth chart, on our organizational depth chart. Obviously, if they were all healthy, somebody might move to the wing, but boy, I don't know an organization that can handle that and still be in a playoff race.
That's just plain not fair. You got, including your 2 best players, Datsuk and Zetterberg. Gustafson is on that list too, the backup goaltender. He's actually got more wins than Jimmy Howard. But all those centermen, that's the biggest key there. The Babcock, no excuses for this team. You just keep playing. You got to believe in the team that you have. David Langlois talked about that. And you just keep playing hard. They won't get the goals that they used to score. It's not like the old Detroit team laden with big-name players that can score a lot of goals. But boy, this team can grind.
This should be icing here as Kronwall ahead of Brandon Saad on the race for the dot, and the faceoff coming back into the Chicago zone. Thomas Tatar, another one of the young players that has played well, and the one positive in situations like this, if there is a positive with so many guys out, you start to learn a little bit about the depth in your organization. What can guys like Tatar and Glendening, Sheahan and guys like that, what can they do in meaningful games? And you find out in a hurry.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and this is a meaningful game. Tatar's played better parts of 4 years in Grand Rapids, but some of the other guys, young guys have been called up, haven't spent as much time.
Here is Sharp, 1 goal in his last 11, as Brian mentioned in the pregame, and got a pretty good shot there on Jimmy Howard. Arian Hossa, number 81, out on the ice. Again, back in the lineup, missed the last 5. His last appearance was in the
good hit
Soldier Field game.
Good hit by Franzen on Taves. You don't want to get him too riled up, though. Jonathan Taves doesn't like being bashed around. Who does? But Franzen really nailed him there.
Versteeg tried to throw it across for Hossa. Hossa, of course, played with Detroit, was on the team that lost in the finals against Pittsburgh in 2008. After playing with Pittsburgh in 2008, with the team that lost to Detroit. But he made up for all that by playing with Chicago on the team that won the Cup in 2010.
Watch Johan Franzen in the neutral zone. This is going to be one of these games. It's just gritty. Jonathan Taves gets turned around, but he gets his legs spread. He sees Franzen coming, and he's just frozen. He can't really go anywhere except down. Good example hit there by Johan Franzen. Playing on that line with Lakewan and Nyquist the last couple of games, Johan Franzen, they had 11 points in one game, that line, against New Jersey. Only 1 point in the last 3 games.
Yeah. That was quite an anomaly, though, the 7-4 win at Joe Louis against the New Jersey team that doesn't normally score 4, much less give up 7. Lead pass now, and a chance here for Jordan Tootoo, who's been called up from Grand Rapids as Todd Bertuzzi was added to that injured list. We had heard speculation that Bertuzzi might take the warm-up. He did not.
He's here with the team. I saw him, but yeah, he didn't even come out for the warm-up. 10 guys off your roster, yeah. Dave. That's incredible for Detroit.
Now Tootoo pinned up along the boards. Leddy for the Hawks. Roosevelt with it. Chicago Blackhawks back on March the 1st after their win over Pittsburgh at Soldier Field had a 2-point lead in the division. Centering pass goes all the way out to the high slot. Seabrook sets it up here for Sharp with a shot. That's into the glove of Jimmy Howard, and he will hold it there. Watch live out-of-market games with NHL Game Center Live. One subscription lets you watch on your computer, smartphone, tablet, and connected devices. Visit NHL.com/GCL.
Jimmy Howard with a little mishandle and behind the net. Got dangerous for a second, but good positioning by Detroit. Didn't allow a good shot on net for Chicago, even once they got the puck.
Glendening with it, able to get it out to center ice. Now the Red Wings get control of it. Drew Miller drops it back. A chance here and a save. Rebound opportunity for Glendening, and Crawford slides across and hangs on.
What a terrific rush. Well done by Detroit here. Miller does a great job on the attack, driving up the middle and then feinting to the outside, and then Glendening will come in late. See, here's Miller. He gets the yell. Everything opened up to Miller. Seabrook was the only defenseman back. He did the right thing and went down and tried to block the shot, but he was a little bit late. Timing was terrific there. Heads-up play by Miller, and a real nice scoring chance for Glendening. Glendening mentioned by his coach, Mike Babcock, saying that really liked the way this young man is coming along. You can see him being a good grinding center for us for a while.
And during that, Mr. Sharp given a hooking call, so the Daniels power play here for the Detroit Red Wings. They have struggled with the man advantage. It's a skill scoring on the power play, and with so many skilled guys out, not surprising that Detroit 0 for 11 in their last 3 games.
Yeah, they had 6 power play goals in their 5 games prior to that, so they've really ridden the roller coaster. They can't get in the zone and get set up. It happens to a lot of power plays. Let's watch their entries here.
Franzen stick handling. Now he goes down, tries to keep it alive. Duncan keeps battling with him. Nyquist pulls it free, gets it back to Alford, then tees it up for a shot that's deflected wide on the glove side. Taken over here by Taves, and he'll send it all the way back down the ice.
Kronwall moved in even way down low, even though he's defenseman, because he knew he had support in the middle of the ice. So very aggressive play on the power play by Detroit.
Now Oduya gets a stick on it, and Michael Handzus will send it all the way back.
Michael Handzus so valuable in the penalty killing day and defensively for the team. Joe Quenneville talked about him today, said, well, he's had trouble making some plays, and his offense hasn't always been there, but we always have him defensively.
Teemu Pulkkinen, number 56, out on the second power play unit here. A right hand shooting forward, playing the point on the power play, and reportedly with a very good shot. Gets it back straight away. He'll hammer one here that was blocked by Handzus, comes back to him. Hands it off down to Tatar. Tatar toward the front of the net. Red Wing player Abdelkader got a stick on it, but then went down. Gahan gets it out to Pulkkinen, now sets it up for Danny DeKeyser. DeKeyser walks the blue line. Hands it off on the far side. Little pirouette move now. It comes out to Tatar with a shot. He tried to go high on the stick side. Didn't miss by much.
Johnny Oduya forced him on a bad angle.
Now Tatar with it again to the forehand, trying to slide it in front. Sharp is out of the box, having served his hooking minor. Detroit still with pressure in the Chicago zone. Comes out straight away, sent to the net. Crawford has it in the glove, and he will hold it there. Chicago with a penalty kill, Corey Crawford. And the Red Wings score.
Pulkkinen, number 56, playing his second game in the National Hockey League. His inexperience of not knowing who he's playing against isn't his fault. Michael Handzus is a very good defensive player. That is a well-timed, terrifically executed block there, shorthanded by Handzus, who made a couple of other strong plays during that penalty kill to make it successful as well.
For all the Swedes the Red Wings have in their lineup and have had historically, Pulkkinen is just the fourth Finnish-born player in Detroit's history. And that includes Tomas Sandstrom, who was born in Finland but raised in Sweden. As Hosenau off the wall with a touch to the front. Couldn't get a shot away. Picked up for a chance here that's blocked before it got to Howard. Nobody picks it up now, and now the Blackhawks get it back as Versteeg sends it far side. Rosenthal lobs it toward the net. Left pad saved by Howard. Now Hossa knocks it down. Hossa stick handling in traffic, which he does as well as anyone. It was knocked away by Tutu. Recovered now by Jonathan Taves. Taves top of the circle, hands it off for Letty. Sends it back down to Rosenthal through traffic, and actually Howard had a pretty good view of it.
Chicago's so happy to have this guy back in the lineup, and here's an example of why. He's so good with his hands. Watch number 81. The little moves he makes, protects it, takes it into the tough area. Not many guys can make those types of plays. Right after that, too, watch the hands here. Whoops, a little how do you do, goes to the front of the net, cuts back again, holds on to it. Marian Hossa, 35 years old, is in tremendous physical condition. He adds so much to the lineup, 24 goals already this year, too.
Held into the line now by Ben Smith, who moves it along. DeKeyser takes a big hit along the boards. Red Wings trying to push it up the near side. Nyquist got it out near the line. Kane held it in. Now it's picked up for a backhand shot, but it's stopped by Howard. That was Ben Smith, number 28, that had the chance out to the line again. Oduya with a shot that skips in wide. Now out to the line, Oduya again. Little backhand flip that was deflected away by Nyquist. Hjalmarsson backs up. Smith hands it off to Bickle. Bickle far side for Kane just off the bench. Kane with a shot from the angle that was blocked. Quincy handed it off for DeKeyser, and now it comes to Johan Franzen. Franzen will send it off the glass into the Chicago zone. Chased down by Glendening, but now moved around by Seabrook and picked up by Saad with some speed up the right wing side. 3 hops into the offensive zone. Shaw sends it across for Sharp. Backhanded it toward Howard, who had a pretty easy time with that. Now Keith across for Seabrook. Keeps it up for a low shot that didn't get all the way through. And now it's sent back the other way. And a chance here for Drew Miller coming in, and Crawford with a save. As Miller had to shoot it right away with Seabrook coming back.
Well, there's a chance for Drew Miller. Drew Miller had set up a really good scoring chance for Glendenning earlier, but this time Detroit with the quick up. Look at Miller in the middle of your screen. He realized the shot doesn't get through from Seabrook. Seabrook's the guy who shot the puck, so he has to go from a dead stop, turn and go, and try to catch Miller, which is hard to do. Although Seabrook did do a good job of eating up a lot of space, and there was no chance really for Miller to cut into the middle of the ice. His angles were limited, and that allowed Corey Crawford to make the save.
Face-off controlled by the Hawks. They get it to center ice, but the Red Wings get it back as Tatar drops it back for Eriksson. Across now for Kronwall. Chicago currently third in the Central Division with 90 points. One behind Colorado, 9 behind red-hot St. Louis. I mentioned it was a 2-point lead after the win in Soldier Field on March 1st. What all the St. Louis Blues have done since then, Brian, is go 7-0-1.
Incredible in today's NHL to make up points that fast.
Now Hossa the other way. Sends it in on Howard, who steers to the side of the right pad. Kronwall staying with Hossa now for Stieg. Sends it out to the line, Oduya. Lobs it toward the net. It was knocked down, picked up by Quincy, number 27 for Detroit. So Stieg gets a stick on it for the Hawks. Now Quincy again, blocked by Hjalmarsson. Second effort, Red Wings get it to center ice, and Tatar will send it deep. Now Oduya. Hands it off for Brandon Bollig. Bollig, number 52, takes it wide on Nyquist. Holds up and then has the puck come off the stick as he was challenged there by Lashoff. Now Kruger with it, who had that breakaway opportunity earlier in the period. Red Wings started back the other way. Brandon Smith hands it off, looks for the return, but it's knocked away by Bollig. And picked up center ice now, Handzus into the Detroit zone. Lashoff staying on him. Now it comes back, Bollig shot is blocked. Backhanded by Smith. And taken now by Swanson, who one-hands it into the Chicago zone. Seabrook able to easily clear it. Now the Red Wings. Glendenning was bumped off the puck there by Duncan Keith.
Really good tempo of this game. A lot of turnovers. Both teams really good positionally. Detroit defending in their end a little bit more than Chicago is so far, though.
Eriksson tried to backhand it out. Held in by Bickle. Shot blocked. Here's Ben Smith with it. Smith with a shot that's blocked up high in the air and into the netting, out of play. When we come back, we'll hear from one of the winningest coaches in the National Hockey League, Joe Quenneville, with Brian Engblom after this.
Talked a lot the last couple of days about your last 2 games, too much perimeter play, not playing the right way. What are you seeing here?
A lot better. You know, we got a lot more quickness into the puck area. We got more directness to our game. We killed a penalty. I thought we had a good start, and I think we're doing all right now.
Is this a typical Detroit-Chicago game?
Yeah, I think it's tight. You know, not many scoring chances, and you know, not a lot of room. But both teams are respectful for the other team's speed.
Thanks, Joel. You betcha.
Joe Quenneville just 2 wins shy of becoming the 3rd coach ever to reach 700 wins. 698 wins for Joel Quenneville, one of the most respected head coaches in the National Hockey League. Here comes Kane with a chance. Howard sliding across, able to make the save.
Chicago forces you to make so many reads. They move around so effectively inside the blue line. For my money, the best of any team in the league. Yeah, they have a lot of talented players and a lot of skill. Watch number 88, the left side of your screen. Timing pattern, he'll just get into the middle of the ice. Then once he gets it, Patrick Kane, for my money, is the best stick handler in the National Hockey League. He got free for a moment. He creates more space, then he gets it to the net.
We'll get a lot of argument putting Patrick Kane at the top of the list of a lot of very skilled players. Maybe if Pavel Datsyuk would be in there if he was healthy, but he is a magician. Here comes Oduya now. Looking to the front, it was blocked. Now picked up by Bickle. Hands it off for Kane. Kane looks to the front again. It was blocked by Nyquist. They continue to battle. You guys have represented their respective countries over in Sochi. And the Winter Olympics, of course, Kane with the United States and Nyquist with Team Sweden that won the silver medal.
Good opportunity for Ben Smith. Smith playing with Bickle and Kane there. He'll get probably more ice time than when he's on a 4th line, and obviously they're going to be in more offensive situations.
Alfredsson knocked off his stick and swept down the ice by Saad. Sharp's going to get there, though, to win the race to negate the icing. He'll send it to the near side of the Detroit zone. 8 minutes straight up left here in the first period. Scoreless game. Detroit has had the one power play that Joel Quenneville talked about His team doing a good job on the kill. Here comes Keith out of the circle with a drive that was blocked. Hit a Red Wing player out in the circle. Keith has it again across for his partner Seabrook. Seabrook goes back to Keith. Seabrook again. Keith tees it up, lets it go, blocked by the player right in front of him. That was the veteran Daniel Alfredson as it's sent back inside the Chicago zone.
Looked almost like a power play structure there. Detroit was playing deep in their zone. They definitely have given the point men of Chicago a lot of room out there. That's why there's so much time to move it. But Detroit doing a nice job of not letting the puck get to the net.
Now Pulkkinen tried to get it to the front. It was blocked. Timo Pulkkinen, 26 goals, 51 points in 60 games with Grand Rapids in the American Hockey League. Leddy hands it off now for Toews. Drops it back. A chance here for Stieg. Save. Rebound was there for a moment. As Jimmy Howard had lost his goal stick and was scrambling, but the Red Wings turn it back. Here is Pulkkinen, tees it up. Waits down, trying to slide it across. And it deflects up out of the netting and out of play.
Joel Quenneville talked about the respect each team has for the team speed. Well, you see chances at both ends of the ice. Detroit giving up a shot on net. Jimmy Howard does a real nice job. Look at that right leg on the rebound there. Kicks out the left leg first of all, but then that's the one. Kicked it away from Marian Hossa just in time. Kronwall fighting off Hossa as well as he could, but that little toe save with the right leg by Jimmy Howard, I think, is the one that really prevented the goal, because Hossa probably had a good chance to poke it into an empty net if it just trickles across the crease.
Andrews wins the draw away from Abdelkader as Seabrook. Long pass anticipated by Brendan Smith, who couldn't handle it cleanly. Abdelkader steps up on Duncan Keith, and Tatar will send it back wide of the Chicago goal. Seabrook around on the far side. It deflects over the stick of Lashoff. He'll chase back after it. Now around the boards. Big hit on Smith there by Bollig. Now Bollig will deflect it back into the Detroit zone. Abdelkader with Andrews right on him.
Bollig and Brendan Smith with a few choice words for each other as before Bollig headed to the bench. Typical Chicago-Detroit stuff.
Now Legwand tried to get it to a teammate in the neutral zone. It's turned over. Oduya, though, lost an edge, fell down. The puck still onside for Chicago, but recovered by the Red Wings as the Kaiser hands it off on the far side. Out to center ice. Bronson has it there. Chips it ahead. Legwand trying to get to it. Hjalmarsson knocked it away. Back at center ice. Nyquist couldn't get it by the stick of Hjalmarsson. Bronson steps into Ben Smith. Now it's recovered center ice by the Hawks. Smith across the line. Crisscrossing with Bickle. Knocked away by DeKaiser. DeKaiser gets to it again. Couple of Blackhawks on him. He tries to chip it out of trouble. He got it as far as Nyquist. Nyquist one-handed as he takes a big hit from Bickle. Then runs into Johan Franzen.
That's what they need from Brian Bickle. Joe Quenneville talked about him before the game, saying, I can see him starting to come. Signed a big contract after a terrific playoff last year. Bickle wasn't real strong the first couple of months, but he's starting to gain some momentum. That was a momentum hit.
Jonathan Ericsson plays it around Leddy. Now for Shaw. Shaw tried to make a move with it. Kronwall able to get it free for Alfredson. It comes back to number 55, Nicholas Kronwall. Now for Luke Glendening. Plays it ahead. Chipped in wide of Crawford. He's faced only 4 shots. Jimmy Howard has faced 10, and Detroit is the one that had the power play. As Kronwall, one of his patented hits that time onside. But here comes Chicago the other way. Shaw sends it across. Good back check there by Riley Sheahan, but he's going to be called for a hook. So Chicago, in this scoreless game, will get their first power play when we come back.
Gustav Nyquist is kind of preoccupied. Well, he doesn't see Bickle coming. Bickle makes a big impact. Then in the other end of the ice, that's what being Kronwall feels like. Brendan Saad saw him just at the last minute, the end of this play. Patrick Sharp going to the net. Nice pass. A penalty for hooking by Riley Sheahan, but a really good penalty. That's very probably a goal there. If you're going to take one, you take those kinds.
Brian, I know you spoke with Joel Quenneville about the power play for Chicago, which is 0 for 11, or excuse me, 0 for 9 over the last 3 games.
Yeah.
But maybe those numbers aren't indicative of what he's seeing.
Yeah, he didn't seem too worried about it. He said, we're moving the puck around really well. We're getting some good looks at the net. He said, it's just not going in right now. So it's just one of those down cycles statistically.
Keith across the line, angles it off the boards, intercepted by Quincy. He'll send it back the other way.
Duncan Keith did a good job of taking the zone, and then he ended up passing the puck right in between the two Patricks and didn't put it to either one of them. An easy turnover there.
Meanwhile, on the penalty kill, the Red Wings a perfect 13 for 13 over the last 5 games. Now Taves. Last shot stepped into him. Now it's backhanded by Emerton all the way down the ice.
When I interviewed in the pregame Patrick Sharp, I could see the focus in his eyes. He has been really good in this first period, just guarding all over the ice. Back on the point right now in the power play. He's going to make a line change. He's been effective, had some good chances, and drew that last penalty.
Seabrook sends it along the boards behind Howard. Up the near side, Hossa gets a stick on it. Hugh Miller is there, so is Erickson, but the Hawks have it. Now Seabrook. Laid it off the boards, intercepted by Kronwall. He'll let it roll back toward the Chicago line. Seabrook picks it up there. Far side now for Ben Smith. Taken away by Kronwall. Hard around the boards, and it gets through Seabrook and down the ice.
The intelligence level of Nicholas Kronwall is one of the many things that makes him a great player. His reads of the game and turning the puck over and getting it down. So smart.
Now Seabrook drops it back, comes to the near side for Smith. Bounces off of him. And now it's recovered by Emerton, who tried to hand it off there. Went off the stick of Justin Abdelkader. We're down to 2:25 remaining here in the first period of this Sunday night game here on NBCSN. We've had a lot of great hockey action already today on NBC. Philadelphia made it a sweep of the home-and-home series against their arch rivals from Pittsburgh. They look to solidify their playoff spot, the Flyers, that is. Pittsburgh, they're going to get in, but like Chicago have slumped a little bit of late. Losing back-to-back games to their rivals from Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Flyers playing so well. Back-to-back wins like that when you play the same team day after day. A very impressive wins for the Flyers.
And Pittsburgh again, without some key players like these Red Wings. Guys like Letang and Neal, Kunitz. Kaiser continues to battle with Bollig. Bollig now behind the net. Kruger comes in and picks it up. Bollig lost his stick. He continues to go after DeKaiser. Now Bollig will head to the bench. Meanwhile, teed up at the line for a shot that's steered aside by Howard as Johan Franzen tried to push it along.
Really good work there by DeKaiser defensively in his own zone. Bollig was working hard. Bollig came back to the bench. He didn't have a stick. He and Abdelkader just jawing at each other. It's on all right. Real strong stuff, though, defensively by DeKaiser.
Now Taves. Tried to hit Versteeg. That didn't work out. Back the other way. Abdelkader sends it deep into the Chicago zone. Crawford left it there for Seabrook. Now for Taves. Sheahan ran into him, and now Hossa able to clear, but the Red Wings right there in the neutral zone to gain it back. Nice little move here by Tatar moving in. Good stop there by Crawford as Tatar tried to go far side. Tatar now back to the line down. Erickson with a shot. Crawford able to get out ahead of the tip attempt there by Abdelkader.
Well, there goes Kronwall. Kronwall was trying to take a piece of Seabrook there, but that one wasn't happening.
Now Erickson lifts it back into the Chicago zone. Under 25 seconds remaining here in this first period. Hjalmarsson plays it ahead for Kane. Kane across the line. Broken up by the wings and sent back to center ice. Hjalmarsson will lift it right back into the Detroit zone. And the Kaiser knocks it away from Sharp. Drew Miller. Now hammered by Alfredsson all the way down on Crawford, and he steers it to the corner as the horn goes to end the first 20 minutes. Coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report, Liam, Keith, and JR will talk about the Colorado Avalanche. They win again. Montreal back in action. What a comeback they had against their rivals from Ottawa. 3 goals in the last, 3 minutes and 20 seconds of regulation, including one in the final second. Then they win it in overtime. This one's had everything you would expect in a rivalry game between 2 original 16s, but it is scoreless. The Intermission Report right after this. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Scoreless after 20 minutes of play. The teams are out on the ice getting ready for the second period. But first, let's go inside the glass. Here's Brian Ekblom.
Chicago Blackhawks got Marian Hossa back in the lineup tonight, and boy, they have missed him. Why wouldn't you, when a guy who's been in the league as long as he has been picking numbers up, 3-time 40-goal scorer, but he is so good at every facet of the game. Fabulous hands, his ability to make plays. He settles things down, though. He gives Chicago a different look and a different feel. On top of that, he's got 3 short-handed goals, which is second in the NHL. There's nothing bad about Marian Hossa's play, especially at 35 years old. The way he can skate and the physical pounding he can take, having him back in the lineup, gigantic for the Hawks.
His career high is 43 goals and 100 points, which he accomplished back in 06-07 when he was a member of the Atlanta Thrashers. Remember, he started his career in Ottawa, went to Atlanta, then Pittsburgh, Detroit, and eventually Chicago. First pick overall of the Ottawa Senators, and 12th overall, the Ottawa first pick back in 1997. One of the great two-way players over the course of his career. As Bronson starts the second period with a big hit, much like he did early in the first. That time it was Hjalmarsson. As Versteeg will send it back down the ice.
Well, David Legwand said in the pregame show, we have to be physical against these Hawks, and Johan Franz's done his share already early in the game.
Franzen sends it deep, playing on a line here with Legwand. And Nyquist is Kronwall now, tries to move it along. Hjalmarsson sends it back down. Oduya across center ice, and the captain Jonathan Toews sends it far side. Chicago making some changes, and Kruger, who had the first real good scoring chance of this game, just off the bench, pinned up along the boards. Now Justin Applicator will play it ahead. Carr trying to chase it down, fakes the big slap shot. Now sends it far side for a one-timer that's over the glove of Crawford.
Smith came off the bench on a line change there. That gave him a wide open look at the net. He just blew it high and wide.
Now Hanzu's trying to get around his man Tatar, and Tatar's going to be called for a penalty here. Delayed call against Detroit. Hanzu sends it back to the line. Here's Seabrook. Chicago gets the extra attacker on as Crawford's already at the bench. Nice pass across for Sharp, and a save made by Howard. And Sharp can't quite believe it.
There's going to be an interference call, but really well set up there with the extra man on the attack there. Patrick Sharp jumped off the bench and ends up getting a good scoring chance. Duncan Keith, look at his head up. Fakes the shot, pulls it to where Sharp is. Little mixed direction there. Boy, he didn't miss by much on the shot there either. Patrick Sharp, only 1 goal in his last 11 games, but still leads Chicago with 29, tied with Patrick Kane. There's the interference call on Tatar. So the power play for Chicago coming up.
Their second one of this game, 0 for 1 in a scoreless duel so far, as the puck played around the boards by Lashoff and out to center ice, and back to get it now. Duncan Keith being pursued by Glendening.
Resulting in a Blackhawks power play.
Toews hands it off. Kane takes it to the corner. Now backhands it far side. Shaw lets it go for Duncan Keith. Keith sends it back to the near side of the Detroit zone. Kane has it there. Out to the line now for Sharp. Now for Kane. Hands it off for Toews. Straight away, Sharp one-timer. That was blocked by Glendening and cleared down the ice.
That was a gutsy block there by Glendening. He was just leaning down. He took that one pretty high on the chest. Patrick Sharp misfired a little bit in that one. I don't think he meant that one to go that high that quick.
Patrick Sharp for the University of Vermont, to his alma mater, eliminated by UMass Lowell in the Hockey East quarterfinals. Ben Smith's Boston College team lost to Riley Shahan's Notre Dame squad as Notre Dame advances to the semifinals.
Congratulations to them.
Back out to the high slot now. Leddy gets the return pass from Seabrook. Leddy hands it off. Hossa with a shot that's blocked, and it's cleared back the other way. UNH took care of Northeastern, and Providence defeated Jimmy Howard's Maine, University of Maine team. So it will be Providence and New Hampshire in one semifinal, Notre Dame, UMass Lowell in the other.
Congratulations, all those teams advancing. Some good hockey coming up there.
Now Hossa angles it out to Leddy. Little backhand feed. Hossa broken up
Great hands by Miller. Boy, was that well done. He was just about to lose Marian Hossa, but he reached around and used the stick to slap the puck away.
Outside trying to chase it down. Quincy angles him to the board. Just a couple of seconds left in the Tatar penalty as Legwand will send this all the way back in wide of the Chicago goal. Tatar gets to the bench. Red Wings back at full strength. As Saad tries to lob it across, it was blocked. Recovered here by Bronson. Drops it back now for Nyquist. And the play offside at the Chicago line.
Miller does a terrific job. Watch right here at number 20. He just about to have Hossa pull away from him, reaches around and slaps that puck away. Really well done. Chicago, here's a terrific block too by Glendening. That's that one-timer from Sharp. Watch the entry here for Chicago. The last two guys top of your screen are Taves and Kane. When you have that kind of talent, you give it to either one of them, whichever one has the most room. They take it in the zone. Getting inside the zone is a problem for every team, less so for Chicago, because they have two great players like that can make terrific plays on the entry.
Hawks 0 for 2 on the power play and no shots. As Edmonton with a chance here that goes just over the glove. Now Kane chips it off the wall, held in by the Wings, fired way back in wide by Brendan Smith. Another shot from the far side. Deflect to where DeKeyser has an opportunity. Now Pulkkinen, wearing number 56. Just his second career National Hockey League game. Sends it across the Chicago zone. DeKeyser out of Western Michigan. Don't know if he broke any of Keith Jones's records while he was there.
On the ice?
Maybe most classes attended.
It wouldn't take many, I don't think.
No.
4, 5.
Now Leddy hammers one in, knocked aside by Howard, and he's going to hold it there with Shaw in the vicinity. Sunday, March 30th. F1's next stop is Malaysia, where Sebastian Vettel tried for his 4th title at this race. The Formula One Petronas Malaysia Grand Prix, Sunday, March 30th at 3:30 a.m. Eastern here on NBC SN.
Chicago spent more time in Detroit zone than the other way around, but I get no sense of panic at all by Detroit. Their positioning is good. Keith Jones showed a good clip in the first intermission about Chicago having trouble getting the puck eventually to the net. That's good play by Detroit.
Now Taves hangs onto it. Rolls it to the front. Can't save. Rebound. Chance for Johnson. Stopped by Howard. Howard's still down. The puck not free. Oduya reads it. Comes across to keep it alive in the Detroit zone. But eventually it is cleared by the Red Wings.
Jimmy Howard's legs like flippers on a pinball machine there.
Taves hands it off for Steve. Wanted to drop it back. It was blocked up right back to number 23. Hands it off to Chalmers. Able to shot. He tried to go far side on Howard. It just missed the net. And Nyquist trying to clear the zone. Gustav Nyquist should mention also out of the University of Maine. The two-time All-Hockey East player. Nyquist, number 14. And now back the other way comes Saad, who makes a move to the outside. Tried to backhand it in front. Shaw went for the front of the net. Here is Duncan Keith. Backhand in front. And cleared out to the line and outside the zone. Dumped in by Keith, so the Hawks are going to have to tag up. Drew Miller sends it across now. Now Quincy across the line. Miller goes to the front of the net as Crawford steers that shot aside. Miller again. Duncan Keith, now Andrew Shaw all over him. He chases it down, Sharp. Goes to put on the hit, now around for Alfredson. And it's poked ahead for Miller, who sends it back into the Chicago zone.
Drew Miller has been very effective in this game, both defensively and making a couple of really good offensive plays in the first period for the Wings.
Now Smith with it. Cleared out to center ice. Pulkkinen hands it off for last shot on the move. He one-hands it deep into the Chicago zone. Now Emerson in on the forecheck, but the puck comes free, controlled by the Hawks. Dropped off to Patrick Kane, who slides it across. Looks for the return pass and gets it. Number 88, Kane. Trying to make a move there on Pulkkinen, and there's going to be a penalty. Pulkkinen realizes it and heads to the bench, and watch this save right here on Hjalmarsson by Jimmy Howard that helps keep this game scoreless.
The puck, one of the toughest guys to nail down. Pulkkinen reaches in, doesn't get over with his body enough. Pulkkinen's played well in this game. I've been impressed. He's got a really good stick, but he didn't use it quite slickly enough there to get away from the referee.
Back to Sharp now, tees it up, save made by Howard, and the rebound is cleared by Glendening.
That's one of the best saves that Jimmy Howard has made because it was so hard to see the puck coming through. A good shot, he stopped at it with his arm.
Now Shaw scoops it along. Taves didn't get it by the stick of Kronwall. Just before we came back from break, did I hear Brendan Smith try to analyze that replay, Brian?
Yeah, he was looking over because he thought, well, he touched the puck, didn't he? And I went, and he was watching while I was talking on the air, and he went, oh, yeah, okay.
Back to the line, Sharp. Rolls it across, gets it back. Sharp now for Taves. Hands it off down low. Kane walks to the front. It goes to the blue paint. It's set just wide. Angle off the boards. The Hawks still have control.
Kane fanned on the passer. He wanted to give it back to Taves.
Now Kane far corner. Kane comes out top of the circle. Lets the shot go. And that was deflected up high on Jimmy Howard. Taken by Sharp, who rifles it around on the far side. Duncan Keith gets it to Taves. Taves back to Kane. Keeps it up for a one-timer by Sharp, who came way out with Shaw right there. And Jimmy Howard has it in his glove.
The guy Chicago wants to have the puck on his stick is Patrick Kane. Great hands. I don't think this one was deflected. Here's the first one on the short side. He fanned on this one. See, he wanted to give it to Taves coming late on the play. Then he looped around on the other side. He's always on the move. And then there, before this, Jimmy Howard, that's the save I was talking about. He didn't pick it up right away, moved across, and used his arm to make a really good save on a tough shot from Patrick Sharp.
Scramble after the faceoff, and eventually Corey Emerton comes up with it, able to clear it for Detroit.
It's those little battles. That's well done there by Detroit. Emerton battling along with Abdelkader along the wall in a 50-50 puck, getting it down the ice.
Shots are 18-6 for the home team. Comes out to the top of the far circle. Letty tees it up. Chicago.
Well, the amount of room that the Chicago defensemen have had at the blue line finally pays off. Letty will be able to move into the middle of the ice. You see how low Detroit defenders are. They just get to the front of the net first. They don't go out to the point, and then it's the total screen for Jimmy Howard. I think it goes 5-hole on him. He just can't pick it up. Ben Smith is in front of the net. Brian Lashoff is as well, too. That may even have hit somebody's stick. Howard goes down, can't find the handle on it. Chicago's finally on the board.
We'll await the official announcement. If it's Letty's goal, it'll be his 7th of the year, as this will be icing against Detroit on a face-off back in the Red Wing zone.
Yeah, Dave, if it hit a stick on the way in, it would be a Detroit player. But Letty did a nice job of staying under control, getting a good angle, but he did have lots of time to work with. The screen was the key in front, though. Ben Smith doing a nice job of taking the eyes away from Jimmy Howard. See how his head is up? He's just trying to thread it through. Maybe it did go straight through. Went to the back of the net, so Chicago cares.
So 3 consecutive minor penalties in this game against Detroit. One in the first, 2 here in the second, and the Hawks finally make the Red Wings pay. Back to DeKeyser now with a shot that knocked down by Crawford, and what a chance there. And now Laidlaw tried to slide it across. That was Alfredsson that had an opportunity.
Did Crawford get a leg on that? It seemed like he was moving to his left and kicked back with that foot.
Hossa and Smith getting the assist on the Letty goal. What a chance Detroit had as that DeKeyser shot got through. And have to wait and see whether Crawford did make a stop. The subsequent chance, no icing here. Now Eriksson moving it to Kronwall. Left wing side to Tar. Tar slides it across now. Jonathan Eriksson with it. That was blocked and turned over. Bowling with a shot. Watford aside by Howard to the far side. We reach the halfway mark of the second period. Out to the line now, Duncan Keith. That was deflected out near the blue line, and now Tatar will come out of the Detroit zone with it. Tatar with Nyquist. Has somebody coming late. Hits Kronwall. Kronwall all the way to the corner. Tips it along for Nyquist. Riley Shahan, Nyquist, and Tatar. On this line for Mike Babcock. As Nyquist peels it out to the high slot. A shot here, and Crawford saw that all the way. When we come back, Brian will be with Detroit coach Mike Babcock as we take a look at that opportunity. The right pad of Crawford did get on it before Alfredsson could get to it.
Get a few penalties here, which has given them time of possession inside the zone, of course. Is that your biggest concern here?
Well, obviously, we don't want to take penalties. You know, I thought the last one in particular, I thought our kills have been pretty good. We missed the lane there on the last one. The biggest thing for us is they're commanding territorial advantage all over. I think we can play better. We got to play harder in the offensive zone and continue to work hard in our own zone.
Thank you very much.
Mike Babcock, the head coach of Team Canada that brought home the gold. We talked to him about that before the game tonight, but like all great coaches and professional athletes, they are so much in the moment. Started talking to him about the upcoming schedule. A couple of games left against Toronto, a team they're trying to catch. A couple of games left against Montreal. He said, all I know is we have a game tonight against Chicago. And he kind of smiled, and that's really all they can think about.
Focus. Well, I mean, he's preaching that to his players all the time.
Exactly.
If he's not living it, that doesn't work very well. What Mike Babcock was talking about, we missed the lane on the last one. That was that Nick Leddy shot. We showed you the good replay where they tried to get to the front of the net first and then come out at the defense. Well, they didn't get in the shooting lane, and give Leddy some credit for that because he moved over into the middle and made it more difficult.
Stanley Cup, World Championship, and a gold medal. Quite a resume for that man. As you saw earlier, third fastest to 400 career wins. And we mentioned Joe Quenneville sitting on 698 wins. Only Scotty Bowman and Al Arbour have reached the 700 win mark. Of course, Scotty was over 1,200, and Al Arbour was 782.
Yeah, Mike Babcock's seen more than his fair share of pressure, too, hasn't he? I mean, none greater than coaching Team Canada this time around. He was second-guessed like you read about every little thing, and they still won.
Ken Holland is general manager with Detroit, was part of the management team for Team Canada. I spoke with Ken up here in the broadcast booth a little bit during the first intermission. I said, boy, you really did it, meaning you, the Canadians, a little differently this time. Shahan now angled to the boards by Leddy, and he couldn't say enough about Coach Babcock and the rest of the coaching staff for Team Canada and how they got the players to buy in, and of course credit to the players for buying into the fact that they needed to check, and boy, no better example than that 1-0 win over the U.S.
And Mike Babcock for different reasons, because he doesn't have the skill level that he did in Team Canada, but that tight defensive play is exactly what he's selling his young team, and it is a very young team with all the injuries, and they pay attention.
Jonathan Ericsson chips it out to center right. Jordan Tootoo gets the return from Glendening. Tootoo with a shot deflected just wide from Corey Crawford. That was Glendening that was waving his stick at him. Not sure if he got a piece of it or not as Jonathan Ericsson back to get it. Now a lead pass for Everton, and he's just offside on the play. Download the NBC Sports Live Extra app to watch the game live on your phone or tablet. The NBC Sports Live Extra app on NBCSports.com/live extra and also NHL.com.
Joe Quenneville's mixed his lines around because he wasn't very happy. That's a look at Patrick Sharp, who's now playing with Andrew Shaw and Brandon Saad. I like that combination. There's some grit. Shaw's hard to play against. He's a nasty little player. Sharp's got great skills. Saad is an up-and-coming real star in this league. I like the combo, and Chicago has that luxury of being able to mix things around because of their skill level. Joe Quenneville wants better effort from the four lines, one after the other. He didn't feel like he was getting it in the last two games.
The Kaiser sends this deep into the Chicago zone. Mentioned they're 9 behind their rivals from St. Louis, but they have the Blues 2 more times, including here on Wednesday night, which we'll have for you on our Wednesday night rivalry. The Hall of Famer Doc Emrick will be here, along with the U.S. Hall of Famer Eddie Olczyk, Pierre McGuire, and the rest of our crew on the Wednesday night rivalry game. And of course, that could be a preview of a playoff series, but both teams, if the standings stay like they are, will have to take care of some other business for that to happen. As a penalty coming against Chicago, DeKeyser was reaching for the puck to try to dump it in the zone, and he went down, and the officials felt that it was the fault of that man.
Anytime you reach out in today's National Hockey League, there's so many hooking calls now. If you're a little bit behind, Kane is trying to do it the right way. He could hooking, tripping, can be whatever. He was pretty smart about it, actually. On the first reach in, he made sure not to get tangled up in DeKeyser's hands. But when he reached back around, yeah, that's pretty easy tripping call there. Knocked his toe out from underneath him. So a chance here for Detroit that has struggled on their power play of late, too.
0 for 1 in this game. They came in 0 for 11 in their last 3. Sheahan, Tatar, Abdelkader. Pulkkinen, the youngster in his second National Hockey League game with a big shot out on the point as one of the linesmen knocked down. And, he gets back up and play is going to continue.
Yeah, Michael Handzus apologizing to him, kind of did a ring around him pretty quickly. Mike Civic trying to get out of the way, ended up going down.
Sheahan across the line, drops it back for Abdelkader. Abdelkader far side, and a handcuff Pulkkinen. Now recovered by Abdelkader. Off the far boards now, Pulkkinen. Had to make a quick move there against Kruger. Now Tatar there to help out, try to push it along, but it bounces right onto the stick of Michael Handzus, who sends it back down the ice.
Nice little move by Pulkkinen. That's a lot of confidence. The last man at the blue line. It's a little risky, too. But Kruger just stayed with him. That's why Kruger's such a good penalty killer. He doesn't get beaten the first time. He stays right on the play.
Bronson tilts to the middle. Shot was blocked. And the puck recovered here by Legwand. Back to Kronwall. Back to David Legwand, wearing number 17 in a Detroit uniform. Now Franson for Alfredsson. Back to Johan Franson. Nyquist tips it along. Now back for Franson again. 40 seconds remaining on the Chicago penalty. Oduya digs the puck free, but Legwand will chase it down for Detroit. Out to the line. Alfredsson. Back to Legwand. David Legwand hands it off for Nyquist. Nyquist centering pass, and Franson couldn't get much on it. One of the puck defenders able to stop him. Wraparound attempt was blocked. Nyquist again digs it out for Detroit.
Taves got a high stick in the head, wanted a penalty.
Fired wide by Nyquist. Nyquist will get another chance. Here, score! They have gone up a Chicago player in front. But on the power play, the Red Wings have tied this game at 1.
Yeah, I believe it goes off of Brent Sequist, but Nyquist pulls the trigger from the slot area. Real good work down low, though. Detroit just building momentum around the net. It started with Franson, then to get it over into the corner, and there's the shot from Nyquist, who had really deep penetration by this point. He's almost at the hash marks there. Well, that's a triple deflection off of both of Seabrook's feet, I believe, and then off the outside of the pad of Corey Crawford, but it finds the back of the net for Detroit. Really good combination of hard work and then nice pass from the corner out into the middle to Nyquist with a quick shot.
Nyquist, as you saw, 17th of the season. And 15-10 collision and a penalty coming, and this is going to go against Chicago, I believe. Bickle is going to be called for the hook. So Detroit, who has just tied the game on the power play, goes right back to the man advantage, to the disappointment of Joel Quenneville.
Not a good penalty for Brian Bickle here, 28 of the Chicago Blackhawks. He gets the stick up around Eriksson and pulls him down. That's a pretty easy penalty, number 29. But right after Detroit has scored a power play goal, that's not a good penalty to take in the offensive zone.
Duncan Keith plays it around. Alfredsson able to keep it in, slides it across down to Kronwall. Franson out there as well, along with Nyquist. And Legwand, long one-timer, sails up over top of the net. Backhanded now by Duncan Keith, and he will clear it for the Hawks.
That's a good setup in the zone. Franson comes from the corner up high, and then Alfredsson slips down. So you have an exchange of players going high and low, making it tougher to read in the zone for Chicago.
Taken away by Hossa. He wanted to go. Now Legwand sends it back inside the Chicago end. Duncan Keith slaps it right back to number 81. Hossa waits with it. Turns. And to pull his way to the front of the net. Nyquist got to him. Nyquist 17 from Alfredsson and Kronwall, and all Swedish
That's the first point in
Scoring play.
seven games for Alfredson.
Now Franzen, that bounces off one of the Red Wings along the board. Poked out to Kronwall, quickly redirected to Franzen. And taken away though by Kruger, he sends it all the way back. Now Tatar into the Chicago zone. Oakland sends it back in deep. Taken away by Oduya, and he'll drive it down the ice. Howard settles it down there with 25 seconds now remaining in the Bickell penalty. And 3 minutes remaining here in the second period of this 1-1 game. Big hit there on Pulkkinen.
Oh, Duncan Keith came across, and he had some nasty on him there. He had his arm up a little bit. Detroit didn't like that. They were yelling at the referee. They wanted an elbowing penalty there. Pulkkinen slipped it a little bit.
Yeah.
There was some nastiness coming from Keith there.
Riley Sheahan went over and said something to Duncan Keith. Certainly wasn't going to engage him with his team on the power play. But now Bickell comes out of the box, and here comes Chicago. Bickell across the line. That's deflected away and all the way back into the Chicago zone.
Chicago's penalty killing numbers for the season are not that great compared to what they normally are, but they sure did a number on Detroit on this last sequence here. Good penalty kill. They needed it.
That's one of the areas statistically that's dropped off this year compared to last. But the Hawks were third best in the National Hockey League, better than 87% in the 48-game season. Miller chases after it. Bumps there with Nick Leddy. Now Glendening has it for the Red Wings. Cleared by Sharp for Chicago. Red Wings get it back, 2-2. Slides it across. Off the goal stick of Crawford. Rolls up the far side. Picked up by Jordan Tutu. Trying to jam it. Perhaps off the goaltender Crawford, but it's back the other way now for Kane. Smith with the center lane drive. It's out redirected by Smith with a save made by Howard.
Boy, that one was really close. Smart shot by Kane. He's as good a passer as anybody in the league, too. But he knew that Patrick Sharp was coming late on the play, so he made the low shot off the far pad of Jimmy Howard, and they had a decent chance at it. Duncan Keith coming across earlier.
That was high,
yeah. He did catch the head, even more than I thought. It was on the near side along the wall here. I couldn't get a good look at it at live action. I felt the impact. I could see the look on Duncan Keith's face.
Duncan Keith back to get it. A minute and 15 seconds now remaining here in the second period of a 1-1 game. Important point for both of these teams. The longtime rivals that have played more regular season games than any other two teams in NHL history. Emerson hands it off for Franzen. Franzen tried to cut to the middle, got it to the front of the net, right pad save by Crawford, and back comes Versteeg with Shaw. Makes a move by DeKaiser. Howard gets the goal stick on it, but Versteeg gets it back, hands it off for Dalmerson. Long range, lets it go. Howard hangs onto it.
Johnny Oduya did a terrific job, an outnumbered attack on the rush here by the Detroit Red Wings. Johan Franzen against Johnny Oduya. Oduya does a nice job. Watch number 27. He reads the situation. He'll slip over, put the brakes, and then boom. Really make a good positional play. He literally roped and tied, but he did it legally. Yeah, his stick was on one side, but he made good shoulder contact and dropped Franzen, and Franzen couldn't make the play that he wanted. Well done there by Oduya.
Smith wins the draw. Duncan Keith with a shot that's blocked by the Red Wings to the far corner. Bickell moves it along now for Kane. Back to the line. Seabrook with a shot. Jimmy Howard saw that all the way. Keith picks it up, retreats toward the blue line, dumps it back in deep. Centering attempt now picked up by Bickell off the stick, and Kane recovers. Kane for Keith's got a little bit of room to move in. He does. Low shot, score!
Started with the exchange between Kane and Keith on the far side board. Kane will come up the wall on the left side. Duncan Keith offers your screen. There's the exchange. Look at the battle in front of the net. A mass of humanity. Keith does a really good job of getting the puck into a dangerous scoring area. Takes a look, makes the move to the inside, fakes. Jimmy Howard makes the first save, and there's the loose change, and I believe Smith is the one. I thought Bickle got it.
I thought it was Bickle at first, but now that we saw that replay, we'll have to wait because I don't think it was his stick. You're right.
No, it wasn't. It was definitely Smith going down on the ice. That's the second net front presence there for Ben Smith. He didn't get a point on the first one on that shot from Nick Leddy, but Ben Smith has done a really nice job in front of the net. Watch again here as the play develops. Ben Smith's already in front of the net. He'll go down. He'll get pushed down. And there's his stick. Yeah. Bickle's stick does not touch it. That is Ben Smith all the way. But really well done. Kane is so patient with the puck. It started with Kane moving up towards the point, dropping it back for Duncan Keith, who was aware enough to move down that wall, and it created confusion for Detroit.
9th of the year for Smith. And it came with 13.7 seconds remaining in the period as now the horn goes to end period number 2. Players will be separated now as we invite you to stay with us for the Discover Card intermission report. Liam, Keith, and JR will talk about the Red Wings hanging around in this game, down by a goal now. And the Stars and the Jets duke it out in a game of playoff importance for both of those teams. 2-1 the score in favor of the Hawks. The intermission report on the other side of this. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Just for Men Auto Stop, the foolproof way to get rid of gray. And by Verizon, the official wireless partner of the NHL. Chicago with a 2-1 lead over Detroit heading into the third. Let's go inside the glass with Brian Engblom.
Chicago's had a lot of time possession inside Detroit's zone, and they've got 25 shots on goal. But the battles in front of Detroit's net have been outstanding. Look at the Kaiser and Bollig earlier in the hockey game. Good stuff. Playing so hard all the time. Detroit defensemen in front of net. Fronting players. Jimmy Howard finding a way to use those great legs of his to make saves. Ben Smith finally finds the handle after really good coverage in front of the net. Smith falls down and still gets a stick on it. That's pretty tough when a guy gives a second effort like that. But watching the Chicago Blackhawk players go to the front of the net and the defenders of the Detroit Red Wings, just that old-fashioned slug-it-out hockey in front of your own goaltender. Good stuff to watch.
So the Detroit Red Wings, again with all the injury problems they have, find themselves down by a goal heading into the third period. And the third period has not been a good period for the Red Wings this season.
Like Keith Jones was saying in the studio, though, Dave, you know that Mike Babcock's preaching, hey, we're one shot away. They haven't had a lot of good looks, but they have had some good chances in this game.
Icing called right away as the puck will go back into the Detroit zone.
Johan Franzen's made his impression in this game, both physically and making some plays as well. It was he that really started the action around the net on the power play with some good jam plays before they ended up scoring on their power play. They need a little more of that here in the third.
Wings control the draw, one-handed by Eriksson up the near side. Oduya trying to hold it in. Now Alfredsson sends it back. Kronwall pursued by Hossa. Kronwall long pass center ice. Deflected by Legwand. He'll get it back from Franzen. David Legwand, the first ever draft pick of the Nashville Predators. But a Michigan native. Kronwall with a shot here. The sail's just wide. Now one time by Alfredsson goes off a stick and out of play. Call Star NHL to download NHL Game Center. Get a free premium upgrade only on Verizon. Enjoy exclusives like free live NBC national games. Never be without hockey.
Detroit showing a little different look there too. Daniel Alfredsson was out there with Legwand and Franzen to start this third period. He got his first point in 7 games on the Detroit goal. They need a little more offensive push there. Nyquist was on that line.
Now Kane starts it back the other way. A little flip pass for Bollig. Bollig with a shot. That knocked the stick of the Detroit defenseman Brendan Smith right out of his hand. He recovers it. His last shot battling with Bollig. Now Kruger reaches in for the Hawks. Now Kane angles it off the boards. It comes now to Duncan Keith. Pass anticipated by Tatar, but he didn't clear the zone. Centering pass by Kruger. Almost led to a great scoring chance there for Chicago. Now it's backhanded by Nyquist.
And that was Brandon Bollig in front of the net again. Going at it with Smith this time. Bollig lost the stick, but for his troubles, he made sure he pushed Smith down rather forcefully before he left the zone.
Duncan Keith now knocked away by Applecater. To Kaiser. Getting some help from Glendening. Now back into the Chicago zone. Michael Roosevelt moves it away from Justin Applecater. And over the stick of Miller. Now drilled by Kyle Quincy back into the Chicago zone. Comes all the way around and out to center ice and all the way back into the Detroit end. Stick on the ice there nearly gets in the way, but the Red Wings able to at least get it to the line and now out to center ice. Overskated by Abdelkader. Recovered here now by Nick Leddy. Good pass ahead now for Sharp. Two Red Wings are there. Teemu Pulkkinen hands it off for Jordan Tootoo. Sends it around on the far side. Emerson trying to get there, but Patrick Kane cuts it off. Now Duncan Keith plays it up the far side. Emerson gets to it. And again, the Hawks get it back. Roosevelt trying to clear. Blocked by Emerson. Recovered by Roosevelt. Across for Kane. Kane across the line. Patrick Kane now for Hjalmarsson. Sends it toward the net. That's down in front. Sent just wide.
That hit a couple of people in front. Ricocheted. I thought it was going to go in for a minute there. Jimmy Howard did a good job of staying with that one and finally ended up in the corner.
Now Oduya. Backhands it ahead. Taken away by Alfredsson. Sends it back into the Chicago zone. Hjalmarsson. Taken away by Legwand. Now Alfredsson with it. Sends it back to the line. Out to Franzen. Gets by him. And racing back now is Quincy under some pressure there from Versteeg. Taken away by Kane. Cruising in for a shot that was blocked. And Daniel Alfredsson has it back now for Detroit. Hands it off for Legwand. Pulls up just inside the Chicago zone. Sends it to the corner. Versteeg is there. Plays it around on the near side. Brendan Smith is there for the Wings. Knocked away, and now Versteeg for Chicago lifts it back out to center ice. Kane scoots into the Detroit zone. Pushed away by Riley Sheehan, and Sheehan plays it off the board. That's recovered now by Nyquist. And backhanded by Tatar deep into the Chicago zone. Kane able to clear. Smith. Cross now for Nyquist. Tatar goes to the net. The shot by Nyquist didn't miss by much. Tatar wanted to get it out to Sheehan. It was in the high slot. Now here's Nyquist turning with it. Nyquist out of the corner. Hands it off. Up to the line. Eriksson a shot. That hit Nyquist. Stung him. Now Eriksson goes back to Nyquist. To the net. Wide. Now out to Jonathan Eriksson with a shot that's blocked.
Michael Handzus again in the shooting lane. Good job there. Detroit's really turned things around, though. They're not spending much time in their own zone at all. And now a couple of good sequences, a couple of good shifts, and some looks at the net offensively.
And away from the play, way over by the Red Wing bench. There's a Red Wing player down and a penalty.
Yeah, they're both going to go, David. It was behind the play. Somehow Shaw got caught in behind the play. I mean, he's in front of the Detroit bench. He and Glendening. Glendening's going to go for interference and Shaw for roughing because of his reaction. Right side of your screen, there's Shaw skating backwards. Glendening interfered with him there. And Shaw just reaches around and grabs him by the shoulder, gives him a little wrestling move, throws him down to the ice. He plays a nasty game, Shaw does. Trying to get Glendening's attention. Glendening's ignoring him over there. Well, now he's going to look over. Nah, not interested, not right now.
Draws a little bit of a smile. We've just been told, Brian, that Brandon Saad will not return to the lineup for the Blackhawks. No reason given.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him get hurt there.
No, I know.
A little mixing and matching of lines. We've seen Mike Babcock do it with a few adjustments for Detroit, and now Saad's out, so Quenneville will have to do the same.
Face-off win leads to this rush here by Cotwall, and a save made by Corey Crawford. Well, here's what we have coming up for you, NBCSN. Minnesota and Boston East meets West tomorrow beginning at 6:30 Eastern with NHL Live. Chicago and Philadelphia, Brian and I will be there for a rematch of the 2010 Stanley Cup Final. And then the game I talked about earlier, Wednesday night rivalry. How about this one? St. Louis, Chicago. St. Louis with the lead in the division, but you just may have heard, if you were paying attention to the intermission, that looks like Vladimir Tarasenko out for an extended period of time. That's a big loss for the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, for sure.
Terrific season that young man's been having. Now Oduya sets it up on the far side. Hjalmarsson lets it go and missed the net.
Oh, he waited too long. He had time, more time than he thought, and then he waited that one extra second, and Alfredsson got a stick on it.
Of course, Brian, in between the game here tonight and the game Tuesday night in Philadelphia, you're going to be sworn in as a U.S. citizen.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, a great privilege for me. Looking forward to that. You want to get me kicked out of the country still? You got less than 24 hours.
I was going to say you're going to be sworn in despite the petition that the truck started about 24 hours ago. Apparently 8 signatures isn't enough to change it, so looks like you're all set. It's Nyquist with a shot here that's deflected wide. Now Duncan Keith plays it ahead for Sharp. On the far side with some speed. Hossa gets behind the net. Goal!
Great awareness by Patrick Sharp. He waits and sees that Marian Hossa is winding up with speed. Here's Sharp. Now Detroit gets too fixated on Sharp. They don't look at the entire ice surface. Who's the most dangerous man? The fastest man on the ice, even though he doesn't have the puck yet, is always the most dangerous. Marian Hossa was that guy. Patrick Sharp gave it to him right at the right time, and Hossa doesn't miss many chances like that. Nobody can recover defensively for Detroit to cut off Hossa.
25th, as you see, for Hossa, and this is 58th game. Mentioned that he's just coming back after missing the previous 5. He was hurt during the game at Soldier Field between the Hawks and the Penguins. So now Detroit really has their work cut out for them. Down by 2 with just over 13 minutes remaining here.
It was a 4-on-4 situation, so there's more room. It's ultimately the defenseman's responsibility for Detroit to survey the situation and make sure everybody's accounted for, and they didn't do it very well. When they saw Hossa coming, they tried to cut him off. It's already too late.
10 seconds now remaining, less than that, in the 4-on-4 situation as Roosevelt sends it along. Smith gets to it, tries to drag it to the front. He does! Got a shot away. Howard made the save as Shaw and Glendening come out of their respective boxes. Now Tatar knocked off the puck by Bowling. Well, Chicago asserting themselves more physically here.
Yeah, good shift for Bowling. That's one of the things they rely on him to do. He's a grinder. He's got to get to the front of the net. He's got to get in the corners and pound some people around.
Now knocked away from the Red Wings inside the Chicago zone, and back to get it is to Kaiser. Advocator deflects it deep into the Chicago zone. Now Drew Miller got a stick on it again for Detroit. It's out to the line, and unable to keep it in was Kyle Quincy. Well,
Detroit had done a lot of good things early on. They'd mustered more offense, spent less time in their own zone. Then, of course, this Hossa goal here has taken some of the starch out of them. They're going to have to pick themselves up quickly with time wasting away down by 2.
Brian, we hear coaches all the time as Alfredsson digs it out. It comes down to Smith for a shot, and Corey Crawford out at the top of the paint to make that save. Each team had a man in the box. That means more open ice, and there's one of the most dangerous players in a situation like that. Hossa makes it 3-1. Well, the Detroit Red Wings have had problems in the third period and have been outscored badly by their opponents. They're a plus team in the other periods of play, but not in the third. There's the draw here, controlled by the Wings. De Keyser with a long-range shot that was deflected up over top of the net.
Well, it won't be long now. They're going to have to open it up a little bit. They are down by 2 goals. They want to play tight defensively, but what a redirection by Bollig. They're charging the net. He's getting some ice time here in this game. Bill Quenneville talked about no perimeter play. He wanted the basics of the game, and Bollig had given him some of that bruising stuff. We showed you the action in front of Detroit's net in that film clip we showed you at the beginning of this period. There's been a lot of action there, so Quenneville's gotten a lot of, I think, what he was looking for after the last 2 games where he was not happy with their ability to battle and go in the tough areas.
Brandon Bollig recently signed a 3-year contract extension that will average $1.25 million a year. 3-year contract extension. Now Kane plays it ahead. Here's Bickle, got behind De Keyser. Bickle with a shot that sounded like it rang off iron and then deflected out of play.
Bickle took a look in the middle, figured he couldn't make the play into the middle of the ice. Ben Smith on a line change was coming in the middle of the ice. Good reach by Bickle. See him look. Can I make that pass? No. And then that was really close, though. It was a good idea. Maybe trying to catch Jimmy Howard leaning off the post. Prior to that, there's that chance by Bollig, who was driving the net and just deflected it barely wide.
Good look from our Wendy's RoboCam as we have just over half of this third period remaining. Red Wings clear it back into the Chicago zone. The home team with a 3-1 lead. Dave Strader along with Brian Engblom and the rest of our crew here in Chicago. 4 weeks from today, regular season comes to an end in the National Hockey League, and so much still to be determined for these playoff races, both within the divisions and also for the wild card on both sides.
Boy, there's a lot of intensity from here on in. This is where the fun part of the season really starts. We always say every point is so important, but from here on in, these last couple of weeks, the race is for everything, not just to make the playoffs, but everybody badly with the playoff structure. You want to be in first place overall if you can be, if you're St. Louis, and they've talked about it openly, or first place in your division.
Now Franzen able to get it into the Chicago zone. Now you heard Jeremy Roenick in the pregame show said this is the playoffs for Detroit, and Mike Babcock pretty much told us the same thing when we talked to him before the game. Centering pass here comes all the way out to the line. De Keyser. Save made by Crawford.
Well, he just fought that one off. Good save.
Now it comes to De Keyser again. Looks to the front. And Crawford makes the save. And more importantly, no rebound with Johan Franzen right there. Just under 9 minutes remaining here in the third. The Hawks with a 2-goal lead.
Saves for Corey Crawford. This first one, the toughest one. It's changed his direction on him. See how he fights that one off with the paddle of his stick and his right pad? And then later on, the same sequence, just holds onto it, no rebound.
Alfredsson with a chance here, and Crawford, one of his best stops of the night.
Oh, talk about fighting a puck off there. Wow, what a save by Crawford, because he's going down, and Daniel Alfredsson knows that most goaltenders do in that situation. He just flings one right by the ear of Crawford. He snatched that one out of the air. What a terrific shot there by Alfredsson.
Now a race for a loose puck. Here comes Hossa again, puts on the brakes, drops it back. It went past both Versteeg and Taves. That sends Legwand the other way, but that's broken up. Jonathan Taves center ice again. This dumps it deep into the Detroit zone. Thomas Tatar has it there with 8.5 remaining in the third. Tatar hands it off now for Alfredsson. Alfredsson sends it deep. Hjalmarsson for Chicago sends it to the far side, and Taves able to get it out to center ice. Red Wings regain.
Well, the speed of Marian Hossa has really made a difference in this game for Chicago. He was dangerous again on his first shift. Cronwall had to backtrack fast to stay with him. He drives Cronwall out of the zone in that last exit for Chicago. All important because Cronwall's worried, but Hossa can do behind him.
Nyquist able to slip through, gets it to the front. But the aerial pass ends up in the far corner. And now Handzus with it, sweeps it ahead too far in front of Sharp, but he'll try to chase it down. Gets behind Lashoff with a good little burst of speed. And now Sharp, who made the great pass on the 4-on-4 goal by Hossa, sends it in deep for Shaw. Centering pass and a shot here by Handzus, and that was fought off by Howard. Duncan Keith with a couple of players not far from Brian Engblom get tangled up.
Shaw and Nyquist. Shaw doing a real nice job of making it look like he just can't get away from Nyquist.
Steal here by Miller, and the shot was blocked by Seabrook. Drew Miller chops it along. It'll be recovered by Duncan Keith. And he plays it ahead nicely. Sharp could be a 2-on-1 here with Kane. Across for Kane. Kane the shot. He missed it. Bounces all the way out to center ice.
You don't see him miss those chances very often, that quick developing 2-on-1. Kane had to really concentrate on being onside there because he was a little bit ahead of Sharp. He didn't have much skating momentum because of that, but he usually picks those corners pretty clean.
Jammed up in front of the Chicago bench. Picked up now by Leddy. Leddy plays it ahead now for Bickle. Little backhand feed for Jonathan Toews. Toews takes it to the corner, lost an edge, fell down, still trying to make a play, but it's taken away by Detroit. With under 6.5 remaining here in the third, and they're down by 2 on the road. Back to the late man coming. Legwand, and that was blocked up in the air. David Legwand will play it back to the far side. Alfredson gets to it. Now Tatar comes up with a loose puck. Back to the line, and Cronwall has to back up. Now Alfredson again. Hands it off for Legwand, who pushes it deep. Jalmerson didn't get it by the stick of Alfredson. Legwand sent it to the front. Redirected, left hand save. Made by Crawford. Now Legwand with Jalmerson on him. Alfredson reaching in, but couldn't get to it. Now the Hawks have it. And Oduya, that's knocked away by Franzen. Oduya has to go back to retrieve it. Takes a hit from Franzen. Jalmerson's pass intercepted, sent back in wide of Crawford. 5.5 remaining.
Hard hit by Franzen on Oduya again. He really pasted him along the wall.
Shahan. Franzen with a shot up high, save made by Crawford. A mad scramble for the puck, and Nyquist able to play it to himself off the board. Comes out now for Lashoff. His shot deflected to the near side. And now it's cleared by the Hawks back into the Detroit zone. Will it go far enough for icing? Yes.
Good sequence there for Detroit. They have to get some offensive pressure. They need a puck in behind Corey Crawford. Crawford's been so tough to beat. Johan Franzen coming in off the corner. He's got a great shot selection. That one is labeled for the top shelf, and good save by Corey Crawford. Here's the 2-on-1 earlier. Kane gets it, has to fish it out of his feet. Boy, he didn't miss by much. Michael Handzus also had a terrific scoring chance. The play out from behind the net to Shaw, to Handzus. It was in his feet a little bit. The pass wasn't exactly where he needed it to be. We've had a timeout called here.
Chicago has called the timeout, Brian, with 5:07 remaining. Every match, every week, the Premier League is on NBCSN. Saturday morning, the league's highest placed clubs meet. It's Chelsea and Arsenal. Coverage begins Saturday morning at 7:30 here on NBCSN. Well, again, consecutive years in the playoffs. Detroit, the longest active in any sport. San Antonio's first 16 straight playoffs of the NBA, and then you see the rest. But Detroit, the last year they didn't make it, 1990. Kaiser with a shot that didn't get all, rather that was Polkin at number 56. Both 56 and 65 are out there on the ice. And Jalmerson hands it off for Oduya, plays it ahead. This will go all the way down the ice, and will it be icing again? Yes. And another faceoff back in the Chicago zone. Well, again, taking a look at the Eastern Conference standings, take a look at the Atlantic Division to the left on the bottom. Tampa Bay has 79 points. Detroit over on the right has 73. So there's 6 points out of getting there to the playoffs by virtue of being in the top 3. Now the Rangers in that right-hand column with 79 points. They're only 3 points ahead of Detroit. And coming into this game, Detroit with 3 games in hand. But those games in hand only mean something if you gain some points. And Detroit doesn't win the first tiebreaker with very many of their opponents. And that is the ROW's regulation and overtime wins, another icing.
We have 3 consecutive icings now. Joe Quenneville had to take a timeout because he had some tired troops out there. It was a good timeout. Then he had another face-off inside the zone. Now a 3rd consecutive one. Good pressure, good shifts by Detroit. Detroit worked out a few patterns on that last TV timeout, talking about what they wanted to do on the face-offs, and they keep putting Chicago under pressure. The same guys out there, 3 consecutive shifts.
Face-off, neither team controls. Now it comes to Kane. He'll skate it to center ice and send it deep, and Chicago will make the changes they're looking for.
All 5.
Erickson or Tatar tries to lift it deep, knocked down by Seabrook, chips it back out to center ice. Patrick Sharp, nice little pass along for Andrew Shaw. Shaw moves it to the near side. Sharp is there, pinned to the boards by Kronwall. Out to the line, Duncan Keith with a shot. Blocked to the far boards. Andrews picks it up now. Legwan leaning on him. Now it gets by the stick of Alfredson. Duncan Keith kept it alive for Patrick Sharp. Sharp moves it along. Under 4 minutes remaining now here in the 3rd. Shaw back to Sharp. Shot to the net. Save made by Howard. And the Red Wings able to get it back out to center ice. Angled off the boards, and it gets by the stick of Nyquist to Kaiser. Sends it back. Gets the return. Kaiser plays it ahead. Now Nyquist trying to split the D, and a penalty coming here. And a high sticking call against Chicago. Will it be 2 or will it be 4? We'll get the official call when we come back. Red Wings with a man advantage. Gets the next chapter of the Central Division's best rivalry. St. Louis visits the Windy City to take on Chicago. Wednesday night rivalry. Blues Blackhawk coverage begins Wednesday at 6:30 here on NBCSN.
Detroit on the power play. Duncan Keith in the penalty box. It's a high stick. Gustav Nyquist was cutting into the middle of the ice, and Keith comes across, takes a slap or careless slap with the stick. I think it rode up the shaft of the stick of Nyquist, hit him in the mouth. That got the referee's attention. Nyquist was not bleeding, so it is a 2-minute penalty. But Mike Babcock very active on the bench, drawing up some plays of exactly what he wants structure-wise off the face-off on this power play. He's done a lot of coaching this year. He's had to, so many ways, and so many new faces and young faces in the lineup.
Don't know if we're going to get to a point in this game where the goaltender gets cold, but on this date, Brian, in 1941, over at the Chicago Stadium, which used to stand across the street, Hawk coach Paul Thompson pulled his goalie Sam Lepresti for an extra attacker in the final minute of a game against Toronto. First time in NHL history that tactic was used. Of course, it's been commonplace for many years.
Wow.
And I know you weren't in that game.
Thank you.
Because you didn't play for Toronto or Chicago.
I should have known the other shoe was going to drop there. You're just after everybody. Liam McHugh wants a piece of you too, by the way.
I said he was the lead leprechaun. That implies the other 2 are the secondary leprechauns.
Yeah. Okay, so all 3 of them want you. Excuse me.
Dalmerson trying to clear. Alfredson able to hold it in. Little chip pass for Legwan. Angled off the end board. Jimmy Howard starting to drift out from his net in case Coach Babcock wants him to come to the bench late in this power play, but it won't happen now because of a steal by Hossa. Hossa waits, hands it off. Kane for the chance to the backhand. He scores! What a move!
Johan Franzen is disgusted with himself. Marian Hossa, Marian Hossa, Marian Hossa, right there on Franzen. Franzen should know better. He had no speed. Hossa knows how to script somebody of the puck like that. Franzen can't recover his speed. Toews just has to read the play. He knows what Hossa can do. Now you got a 2-on-1. Franzen can't get back into position well enough, and then Toews finishes it off with just a good, solid move. Look at Hossa. I mean, this is great stuff. Toews brings it into the middle of the ice. I think he actually got a little bit of help by Franzen's stick when Franzen slid across and kept possession of the puck for him, and he stashed it behind Jimmy Howard.
Jonathan Toews.
Jonathan Toews is 27. As Tatar now off the boards, Pulkkinen slides it across. The power play continues for Detroit. Still 25 seconds remaining in the high-sticking penalty to Duncan Keith.
Yeah, on top of all of that, it's the killer being a short-handed goal. It really just takes the wind out of your sails on the power play, but Detroit got no choice. Got to throw the kitchen sink at him here.
And will this be icing? Yes, as the power play had expired, are down to a minute and a half remaining.
Jonathan Toews with a good, strong move. Another solid game for him. Hasn't been flashy. Hasn't had a lot of chances, but he's had Marian Hossa on his wing tonight. Hossa's goal came actually with Patrick Sharp on a 4-on-4. But Hossa's influence on the game, as usual.
Now, Brian, you and I will be in Philadelphia for the next game for the Hawks, so St. Louis does not play Tuesday night, so they'll be sitting here waiting for the Hawks for that Wednesday night rivalry game. Off the draw, controlled by Detroit, and Tatar angles it off the boards. Detroit, meanwhile, has to shake this off, and they'll be at home against Toronto, then Pittsburgh, and then a home-and-home with another former Western Conference rival, the Minnesota Wild.
Let's take a look at Marian Hossa's night and the influence that he has had on this game. He's got a couple of points, but it's everything he does. This is the 4-on-4 goal. He scored really nice setup by Patrick Sharp. He just doesn't miss those chances very often, using his great speed and his anticipation. And here's the steal. He's always right at the top of the National Hockey League in steals. And he would be there again, except for some of the games that he's missed. I believe Ryan O'Reilly's leading the league right this year in takeaways.
Lawford pushes it along. Leddy angles it off the board. Throws the ball. Lays it ahead now for Bickle. Less than a minute remaining in this one. And offside on the far side was Andrew Shaw.
Chicago upset with themselves, had an upset coach. They weren't happy after 2 one-goal losses. And their worst game of the season, according to their coach. Their worst game against Nashville last game. He was not a happy man. He obviously got his message across, but great leadership on this team, and defending Stanley Cup champs knew that you don't want to slide further into bad habits, and I think they reversed most of their bad habits in this game against Detroit.
Well, the crowd's starting to pick up the noise level here. As Brendan Smith takes it deep into the Chicago zone. Wanted to get it to the front to Emerton. It was blocked. Of course, with Colorado winning earlier against Ottawa, even that much more important for Chicago to get this one, to stay within one of the team they're chasing right now for second place in the Central Division. Crowd coming to their feet. After a couple of one-goal losses, a coach that wasn't happy, a lot of players that weren't happy. The Blackhawks get back on track against their longtime rivals, the Detroit Red Wings. And it's a former Red Wing, Marian Hossa, that leads the way in the third period with a goal and an assist. Is the final score for Chicago over Detroit. Coming up next, NHL Overtime presented by Bud Light. For Brian Engblom and the rest of our NBCSN crew, I'm Dave Schrader saying good night from Chicago. And right now, let's send it back to Liam in the studio.